Hello interwebs, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to my brand new face. Look at us, isn't it adorable? Anyways, me being a giant dork aside, yes, as I've kind of joking about, this video is going to be all about my recent facial harmonization surgery, sometimes known as facial feminization surgery, which is a surgery that many trans people, like me, hello, nice to meet you, sometimes seek to get as part of our transition-related journeys. And I want to be very, very clear that surgeries can be part of a trans person's journey, but not every trans person's journey. All that is required to be trans is just to desire to be seen as a gender other than the one that you were assigned at birth. That's all that was required. Surgeries can be part of that. Pronoun changes can be part of that. Gender expression changes can be part of that. Asking people to call you a different name can be part of that. Or none of that can be part of it. It's all about what you want. I've sought to get actually several surgeries along with things like hormones and changing my gender expression in my life. Before this, I had breast augmentation to get these boobies right here. I don't know if they're on camera. You probably can't see them, but they're fun for me and fun for many other people as well. And then I've also gotten vaginoplasty to have my body have a vagina. And then recently, like I said, about 6 weeks ago, had my final surgery, facial harmonization surgery. And so if you've checked out this channel before, as many of you know, I actually did a recent video where I kind of did a more highfalutin artsy-fartsy video that was more about my sort of questioning my existential thoughts around this surgery and my journey through this transition and things like that. So I just wanted to take this video to talk a little bit more about like the basics, the facts, kind of provide a resource, especially for those of you out there who are curious about the surgery, maybe thinking about getting this surgery yourself, to kind of know a little bit more what it's like, what it feels like, how I feel about it emotionally now that I'm a few weeks out from it, and sort of where I think I'm headed with it, as well as just provide some of the things that were complicated going into the surgery, though I've chronicled that a little bit before in another video that I'll put up here where I talked about some of the hurdles that I've had to deal with in terms of even getting this surgery approved. And I was very lucky that I was able to get the surgery approved by my insurance, because heaven knows I could not afford it on my own, because trans healthcare is often way too expensive, people trying to profit off of it, and that sucks. But just because people profit off it is not a reason that it should not be seen as something necessary for many trans people. Jordan Peterson, I'm calling you out. You're nonsense. So first things first, before I get into talking about the nitty-gritty of the surgery, I actually kind of want to talk about where I'm at right now, because it's going to bother me otherwise. And that's the fact that I am, like I said, about 6 weeks out of surgery. So as of right now, I am actually still healing from the surgery. As with pretty much any surgery, it actually takes 6 months to a year for everything to like go down, the swelling to go down and things like that. The most obvious way you can see that right now is on this scar right here. I got a scar along my head. I'll talk about what this is in just a second, but you can clearly see that. But the thing that I want to point out, because it's going to bother me, is that my jaw is actually still really swollen because they shaved down my jaw. So my face kind of looks a bit chipmunky and puffy a little bit more than it probably normally would be. And that's because I'm still healing and there's still a lot of swelling around my jaw. So actually, if I pull this back, my skin back, you can actually kind of see where my jaw actually is, and probably a little bit more realistically where everything will settle down once I've all done healing. But that's just part of any surgery. Your body takes a while to heal from being, cut open and split open and all the fun stuff that surgeons do to it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I will say emotionally, there's a little bit of dysphoria with that. I mean, obviously, I went into the surgery to try to make my body align more, my face align more with how I wish to be seen in the world, which is, more stereotypically feminine, what society thinks is stereotypically feminine. So, having swelling, I'm still sort of like, look at my big chipmunk face. It freaks me out. So there's a little bit of dysphoria as part of the surgery, especially right after the surgery. I'll talk about that more in a second. But that being said, let me rewind a little bit, because let's actually talk about what I had done, because facial harmonization surgery is actually not just one surgery. It happens all at once, but it's actually several different surgeries that you kind of talk with your surgeon about to best fit your face / also what your insurance will cover. Like, for example, one thing my insurance wouldn't cover, and I didn't really want it anyways, but they wouldn't have covered it if I wanted it, was like cheek stuff. That's considered cosmetic by my personal insurance. Weird to draw the line there, but that's just one thing that I wouldn't been able to afford, so I didn't even think about it, pursue it. I didn't really want it anyways. But for every person out there, you're going to talk with your surgeon about what's best for you and your face, what you want, whether you want to see like your nose changed or things like that. And it's going to all depend on what you want and what your face is and what's physically possible and also monetarily possible. So all that stuff that you are going to take into account. For me, I had 3 major things done. I think there was some other stuff, but there's 3 major stuff. First was they took, as you saw with that scar, my hairline and brought it forward a little bit, and then also reduced my forehead bone at the same time. So like my forehead sort of recessed a little bit back further, kind of shaved it down, just to make my hair bring a little bit closer. The next thing they did too was my nose. They made it smaller. I actually wasn't really looking to have anything done to my nose when I went in, but talking with my surgeon, he pointed out that like having a smaller nose does kind of make your face feel a little bit better with all the changes. And so if you're making your face smaller, your nose will stick up more if you don't change it. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. And he sort of showed me pictures, and I was like, okay, that is actually something I wanted to pursue. So that's something that came out of my discussion with my surgeon. And then the final thing that I wanted was a jaw reduction. So I got my jaw reduced, as you can kind of still see by the puffiness. And how they do that one, at least for me, is they actually go in through the mouth, and they sort of like shave back the bone up until there's like a nerve cluster right here on your jaw, and they kind of shave it right up until there as close as they can. They can't go any further than that because you don't want to like hurt your nerves. So they just shave it up to sort of, again, give the less pronounced chin and sort of a more rounded chin. But where I'm at right now is I don't know if you'll be able to see this, and apologies, maybe gruesome. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but I do have scars inside my mouth right now at the base where they went in. There's also scars along the side of my head that are hidden by my hair. I'm not going to pull my hair apart to show it. But they're up here and along here to sort of bring everything forward. And those scars are still visible. They're still healing. They'll be visible for the rest of my life, but my hairline just sort of hides it for the most part. And it'll be less pronounced than it is right now, and makeup also hides it pretty well too. I can feel this right now if I touch here. If I touch here, can't feel that. I'm a numbskull. Quite literally a numbskull. You can say that, and it's literally factual. My nose is actually pretty healed up for the most part. It still hurts from time to time. I don't have it with me because I took it off for this video, so I looked pretty, but I have like a little plastic nose guard thing that I had to wear on here just to protect my nose from my glasses being on it. They'll recommend you wear contacts, but I don't like contacts, so I've been wearing glasses and just got a nose guard that they recommended. My nose doesn't hurt all that much, but it does, like if I hit it when I like move around, or if I put on a t-shirt, it does like, it hurts, and it's gotten less so over time. So that's where I'm at currently right now. But let's actually talk about the surgery. So I'm not going to chronicle all the fun stuff that was going on with insurance, but for the surgery, a few weeks before the surgery, I went in with my doctor. I had an initial consult and we talked about stuff. A few weeks before the surgery, he showed me pictures of like some stuff he did on Photoshop, like this is what's possible with your face. This is what we can possibly do for you. And I said, yes, give me that, and that. And he sort of told me about the risks and problems with that. Like, for example, just like, losing, you can lose feeling in your mouth. Thankfully I didn't, but it is possible. And then like things like death. Any surgery has a risk of death. That's just part of it. For most surgeries, though, the risk of dying is less than the car drive to the surgery, but it is possible. So it is a risk and something that you need to be aware of going in, just sort of knowing all the risks and possible complications that can happen from any of these surgeries. So we did that. I said exactly what I wanted. Showed up the day for my surgery at, oh God, it was like, I think it was like 8 in the morning, something ridiculous. Went through the whole hospital procedures. If you've done any type of surgery, like an outpatient surgery, you sign in, they get you in the nice gown, and it's all sexy because it's a very flattering hospital gown. Met with a bunch of doctors, the anesthesiologist, they all asked me a bunch of questions and stuff like that. It was very boring. And then I went in for the surgery, and they knocked me out, and anesthesia has you out in 2 seconds. And then I woke up from the surgery. The surgery was, I think it was about 8 hours. I don't remember any of it, obviously. But I woke up from the surgery. Whoo, boy. I have had, like I said, 3 surgeries related to transition. And all of them have not been, like, fun experiences. It's surgery. This one probably sucked the most to wake up from. Even worse than the downstairs one. Because it's like, it's your face. And I'll put a picture of it up, but they wrap your face in this whole thing, so your whole face is enclosed, and it's like hot, and you're like waking up, and you're groggy, and you're like, your whole face is so much more swollen than my face is right now. And they also have these splints in your nose, so there's like these little like bridges in your nose holding it open, which is very uncomfortable, and you're trying to like become aware when all of this is feeling, and I was feeling nauseous and sick. It was really horrible and a lot of pain. I had a huge headache, like legitimately. While probably the vaginoplasty hurt more generally, this one was your face. It's like you're here, you're in it, and that just sucked. One story that I can tell is I was feeling very nauseous, and I kind of looked like, because my hair was all like scraggly and nasty as I was wrapped in this thing, and I kind of looked like a witch hag, like a water hag from the Witcher games, and I was feeling nauseous. And so my friend came to pick me up because you're allowed to go home after the surgery. They wheeled me out. My friend was about to pick me up, so I'm looking like this witch hag looking thing. I got my face is all puffed up. I'm like, wah. And this old couple is walking in front of the hospital, going like a daily walk because it's in the middle of Seattle. And I'm feeling nauseous. And they give you this tiny little thing to throw up into, but it's a tiny bag. Like the target is nothing. I don't know why they give you this nothing target to throw up into. And also, because it's a surgery in my mouth, there's blood in my mouth. So this witcher hag looking thing comes out in front of this old couple, and I just vomit blood all over myself in front of them. It was not a pleasant sight. Very comical after the fact, not very fun during the moment to live. But then I came home. And they basically tell you not really to watch TV because your eyes are all puffed up and you're kind of going to see double vision and things. So my friend put on Star Trek Voyager for me, who came to visit and take care of me for a few days, for about a week. But I was just listening to it, and I honestly just wanted to sleep and not feel anything anymore because it sucked. And also it was just hard to speak. Like I can only like say one word at a time because I was like still figuring out what this new mouth was as it was also swollen, because the mouth kind of changes too, just because of how things have been reshaped and your jaw's different and all that stuff. And that kind of got better over the next few days, but the big problem is swelling after surgery actually increases for the first 3 days. So pain generally goes down, but puffiness and swelling goes up. And so you're icing yourself constantly. But by the third day, I was sort of like watching Steven Universe was what I was doing during the time. And I was like having to hold my eyes open to see the show because it was like little slits that my face just like looked all puffed up. The other thing too was the wrap they have you in. You have to wear that for a week after the surgery. It covers your ears and everything. That sucked because it's a little bit claustrophobic, especially as someone, I'm on the autism spectrum. So just having that on me, just that tactile feel and the heat of it and everything, just like made me feel a little bit claustrophobic at times. And so that was kind of maddening. The other thing too is you have to sleep sitting up, because if you sleep sitting down, the puffiness will actually start swelling up more. But after the first week, I go in for my next consult. They took out a lot of the stitches from the forehead. They took out the splints from the nose. I didn't have those in my freaking brain anymore. And they just sort of checked and cleaned me off, and I got home and I got to take a shower for the first time. When you're taking showers, you have to like tuck your head. You can't like water directly hit the surgery scars. Same thing with sun. You're supposed to wear a hat when you go outside, which sucks during the summer right now. The biggest thing though, that I actually meant to have on camera, but I forget where I put it, so I'm not gonna have it on camera right now, but for the first month or so, you're supposed to wear a compression garment, which is like the compression garment that I was showing you, but it's just one that you buy that just sort of keeps everything taut. The big worry with a lot of stuff is just because your face is swelling, your skin will have some loose skin when it all sort of heals back up, and you don't want to be all saggy and loose. It's actually a concern I have right now. So I'm still wearing the compression garment, but you're supposed to wear it for about a month. I'm probably over worrying about it. It's just a thing in my head. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to have loose skin. Hey, so this is actually Editing Jesse here. I actually wanted to pause this video for a hot moment to be open and honest with all of you. So I mentioned just a moment ago in the video that I was concerned about loose skin and things like that, and I will be honest with you, that is actually the leading cause of my worries and dysphoria right now post-surgery. Now, obviously, as of the time of even this editing recording, I'm still only about 6.5 weeks out from surgery, so I'm nowhere even close to what the surgery's final result is going to look like. And honestly, I really love what I look like if I pull my skin taut and see how everything looks under there. I'm actually really, really pleased. But one concern that not just myself, but a lot of trans people have with this surgery is the fact that because you are shaving down your bone and you're kind of losing a little bit of the bone structure underneath you, that you might have a lot of loose skin. It's kind of akin to what someone who has lost a lot of weight recently might have, with a lot of loose skin on their face. And for me, it actually has been kind of triggering a lot of my dysphoria, not necessarily just around my own gender feelings, but I actually used to weigh 300 pounds, and I have a lot of personal triggers when it comes to my weight and how I look with my weight and things like that. And that's not a judgment on anyone's body type, but for me, I do get a lot of just body dysphoria from that. And so seeing myself with a lot of excess skin like I have right now, as you can see in the video, it is actually causing me a lot of like worry and stress, and that is actually a concern. However, for me, I am pretty young and I just turned 30 right after this surgery, and so more than likely over the next few weeks, my skin's elasticity will become taut and tighter, and it won't be as big a concern. Maybe there'll be a little bit of loose skin here and there, but generally it'll be fine. I'm doing a lot of things to help with that, like using a lot of vitamin C, stuff like that, and help my skin become tighter and more elastic. And so it all should be fine, but it just personally triggers me, and I know I've had a bit of concern and worry about it. And every single trans person is going to have a different feeling about this surgery. I mean, I've had a friend who also had this surgery who their concern wasn't their skin excess, but actually just some wrinkling on their forehead. Again, it's surgery, and you're going to be worried about your final result. You're going to have things that you're going to obsess over, and every person's going to have it in some way, shape, or form. And yes, there may be some validity to it, like most, especially for my thing with loose skin, I probably will have some. But also, if you're older, you also, because your skin elasticity isn't as good, you may actually need a facelift after a few months to a year. And I may even need that in a year. I'm not hoping for that. I'm hoping that that's not going to be the case, but we'll ultimately see what happens down the road. So this is just something that you have to think about with surgery. Like, it's surgery. Not everything's a guarantee. It mixes with your body and how things happen on the day and things like that. So I'm very positive and very excited about how I'm ultimately going to look. And I do think I look really great. But as you can see in the video and, you know, just in my own head, I do have some worries about loose skin because that's just the case. And so I kind of wanted to be open and honest about that because it is something that I have been feeling a lot of anxiety about while I watched my face heal. And I felt like not talking about that in this video would have done a disservice to what I was hoping to just say with this video and trying to be honest about surgeries. So just wanted to be open about that. Anyways, back to the rest of the video. And that's pretty much like all the stuff that I can think of right off the top of my head of what this experience was like. Still healing, like I said. I'm still like puffiness, swelling going down, but I feel generally pretty good. I'm able to go out and do things. There are new things that I've discovered, like because my jaw is shorter when I put on lipstick for this video, actually. Normally I would like rub the lipstick around, and my jaw used to be able to go over my lips to do that, to like get the lipstick evenly on my lips. And now I can't really do it as much. My lips don't go out that far. Possibly that'll be better when swelling goes down and stuff, but for now I'm like, oh no, that's the thing I can't do anymore. Oh, another thing too is your teeth are sore because of the surgery in here. So for the first few weeks, it's like hard to eat anything other than like soft stuff like soup and yogurt. So get ready for that if you get the surgery. But I will talk a little bit emotionally. Like I said, there are some dysphoria stuff that I'm still feeling because of the fact that I'm still healing, and so we don't know where everything's gonna set. It's gonna take up to a year before I see the final version of this, and also just life, your face changes over life, so there'll be that part of it. So there's a little bit of like, oh no, is the skin gonna be loose? How long is this gonna take to heal? Especially since I'm an on-camera person. It's partially why I hid my face for so long, because I'm like, I don't want like a record of my face being all puffy out there for people, especially because transphobes are gonna be shitty to public-facing trans people and use it against me and whatever. I don't really give a shit about that sort of nonsense, but why give them fuel for their fire? But that being said, outside of those sort of like dysphoric moments, there have been a lot of moments of joy. I went out with friends to a birthday party, not mine. I turned 30 recently though too, right after the surgery, but I went to another friend's birthday party. And I put on makeup for the first time, and the swelling was kind of low at that point because it alternates based on the time of day and things like that. And I was just like looking at my face pulled back a little bit. I'm like, wow, I really like what I see there. And it's like realizing this is what I wanted, and I can actually see what I've wanted to look like. I spoke about this in the video that I made before, but I do just have a lot of joy after the surgery. And yeah, there's like pain in surgery. It's a pain in the ass. And you know, all surgery, you wonder like, did I make the right choice? I've had that after every single one of my surgeries. But after every one of my surgeries, after time and, you know, dealing with healing and stuff, and it's gone away, I'm like, yeah, this was the right choice for me. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy. And this surgery I see myself the way I've wanted to be seen for so long. At least starting to. That's the discussion I wanted to have on the surgery. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope this was helpful as a resource to everybody. If there are a lot of questions, please put your questions about the surgery down below, because if there are questions that you have that I didn't answer, I would be very, very happy to answer them either in another video or on a live stream or just responding to comments. I might do a whole other video responding to questions if people have them. So put those down below about this or any surgery. Maybe I'll just do a general surgery question video. So let me know if you want that and what questions you may have about that. I'm happy to provide those resources for people as best I can. Another quick announcement, though. I just wanted to let you know, we've been talking about very fun, positive trans stuff, but my next video is one that I am... excited is the wrong word. I'm proud of it, considering it's going to be doing some good, and I try to have some fun with it as best I could. But we're going to be talking about Matt Walsh's terrible What is a Woman documentary. Very horrific anti-transgender documentary. It's going to be a 2-part video series. Part 1 will be going up in just a few weeks, and so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I'm going to try and have fun with it. There should be an image I put on screen of just, I tried to make it look a little bit fun, but it is a rather rough and tough topic. So just know that going in, but I think it'll be a good resource nonetheless to debunk the awful shit that people like Matt Walsh, noted fascist, have said. That's his own terms, calls himself a fascist. So, you know, you're in for good stuff. So just be on the lookout for that video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you can, support me over on Patreon or Nebula. That does really help me out, especially Patreon. That's how I pay my bills. This is my full-time job. It's how I'm able to pay for things like surgery, the stuff that I have to pay still through insurance. So thank you for all of that. Thank you for supporting me. I hope this has been helpful. Mwah. You're beautiful no matter what you choose to do or who you are. But beyond all of that, I just hope that you, as always, my friends, live long and prosper. Thank you everybody for watching this video, and most especially thank you to all of my patrons who make all of this possible. I would not be able to do these videos without you, without your support, and take the time to make them. I would not be able to take the time to have gotten this surgery and heal and just be so joyously happy in my life and in my body. All of this is thanks to you, so thank you to each and every one of my patrons, and especially to Catherine and Beth, Morgan, the Pirate Queen, Kari, Aaron, Foss, Joe Herman Holt, Miranda Janelle, Elysia Titivi, Lily Gray, Ashley Allen Bo, Kikio, Stephen Kleinar, Jem Shin, Mary Mello, Matt Chung, Allie Gobert, Each the Mad, Randy Thompson, Super Desi, Wellington Marcus, Boyd and Mary Beth, Earl, D. Cassaray, Vincent Ellington, G. Man 42, Joseph Dewey, Sylvester Ratto, Chloe Dollar, Felicia Toast, James Krivda, Dominic Noble, Barbara Ruski, Elizabeth Christensen, Jennifer Fuss, Zone 1 Librarian, Jessica Wright, Andy with an I, Sunk Corgi, Sean McKenzie, Nathan Fraughton, Lily Hazel Eyes, Sonia Nero Perdeau, Alicia Strice, Farangato, Mag, Transit Toronto, Wenda's the Bizzle, Shield Maiden 4444. Sasha M, W Randy Edie, Piston Twisted Garage, John Weatherby, Tangy Wilson, Steven Richardson, Melinda Walters, Carrie the Neuroturtle, I like that, Neuroturtle, that's a fun one, Zoe Kerr, Ulysses the Pagan, Beatrix Purvis, Kevin Frotag, Drew Bach, Willow B, Cyber Quaker, Casual Observer, Fox E, Sean Piper, Lysa Flynn, Gretchen Badger, Just Odd, Jedi, Indiana Jones. Don't know why I said it that way. Blueberry Hill, Justine, Meadow Whisperer, Patricia Cromptich, William Stewart, Sarah Leslie Hutchkins, Sarah Bystam, Sarah Lemero, Kay List, Laura Demeraux, Becky Sparks, Sky Skinner, Nathan Steele, Blue, Verdict Sky, Melody Ann Winters Good, Hia Reeses, Troy Stull, Jason Knott, Tony the DC Nerd. I love you too. DC is awesome. Suck it, Marvel. I love Marvel too. Leo Ethel Boyd, Celestial Dawn, Maeve, Holly Walters, Nikki Gordon Bloomfield, Luna T, Strawberry Pup Tart, Spooky, Heather Sylvia, Michael Godey, Abigail Marie, Bella Lugosi, James Hodge, Corey and Vale, Honkinen. Mwah! Y'all kick butt. I love you, adore you, take care of yourselves, make sure you're staying safe, and I hope you all live long and prosper, my friends.